In today's video, I'm reviewing a 2011 Dodge Ram 1500. The Dodge Ram was first introduced in 1981 and is now into its 5th generation, starting with the 2019 model year. In recent years, Dodge has been dropped from the vehicle name, calling it just the Ram 1500, but it's essentially the same vehicle. The 2011 model of the Ram was produced from 2009 to 2019. Now, I love the full-size truck segment because there's really high sales volumes within this segment, a lot of really stiff competition between the various automakers that compete in this group, and with that you get some really great options. I'm not a huge fan of the Nissan Titan, but I love the Toyota Tundra, the Ram, the Silverado, the GMC Sierra, and the Ford F-Series pickups. All really do a great job to address various needs for the truck buyer. What really kind of stands out to me about the Ram pickups is that I think they are probably the best value for a full-size pickup, really coming in at a very competitive price point and offering a really nice overall package. The Ram pickup really kind of found its place in terms of styling with the introduction of the 1994 model of the Ram, with a lot of those styling cues carrying through to the current generation of the Ram pickup. The most obvious changes with that pickup is kind of this overall grille design, headlight design, with the center of the hood being kind of higher up and a little depression here at the headlights. That style has continued through the current generation and has kind of been copied by Ford and GM on their heavy-duty pickups. Gives it a very heavy-duty, rugged appearance. The Ram pickup is available in a few different configurations. You can either get a regular cab, which is just a 2-door, and with that they've got 2 different bed options. You can either get a 6-foot 4-inch bed or an 8-foot bed. And then they've also got this quad cab variant of the Ram. With this version you get a 6-foot 4-inch bed, and then if you get the crew cab, which is a true 4-door kind of extended cab variant, you get a 5-foot 7-inch bed. The Ram is also available in either 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. There's 5 different trim packages of the Ram pickup, appealing to a very broad demographic of buyers, obviously all the way from a work truck to family truck or a commuter vehicle. With that, you can get a very basic version of the pickup, or you can get a fully loaded model that's got all the bells and whistles of any other high-end luxury car on the market. This model kind of falls in the middle, offering some of the basic luxury features that you kind of want in your day-to-day vehicle, but not over the top in terms of luxury. I'm a big fan of the tailgate on this 4th generation of the Ram. Did a really nice job kind of giving it a little bit of style. Again, one of those kind of styling cues that's been copied by some of the other brands. I like how there's kind of a little spoiler built into the top of the bed. This little accent line along the bottom. Some versions of the 4th generation Ram have a dual exhaust built into the rear bumper that also looks really nice. This version just comes with a standard exhaust. That dual exhaust built into the bumper has been copied on the new Silverado Sierra, but I'm surprised that other automakers haven't been more quick to adopt that design language, since it's very common among other cars on the market, SUVs, just not so much in pickups. The Ram is also available in 2500 and 3500 configuration. So they've got kind of a heavy-duty variant of the Ram. It's got some different styling cues, and then obviously different powertrains and much higher towing capacity and payload capacity. The Ram 1500 has a very impressive towing capacity, sitting at 10,450 pounds with this correct configuration if you get the 5.7 liter Hemi. And then it's got a payload capacity on the correct configuration of about 1,900 pounds. Jumping inside the Ram, you'll see that it's kind of your basic truck interior. Nothing too outlandish or crazy about the overall styling of the vehicle on the interior, but it's got a nice overall appearance. Pretty classy, pretty clean, and you know, overall decent use of materials. There are, you know, some harder plastics in the Ram. Again, this, like I said, is kind of an entry-level model of the Ram, and the Ram tends to be one of the budget leaders in the full-size segment, and so with that, there's going to be some cost-cutting measures. It's got power door locks, power windows, power mirrors, automatic headlights, cruise control. Got AM FM radio with CD player and Sirius XM radio. It's also got Bluetooth built into the vehicle with some voice activation features. Single zone climate control. This model is 4-wheel drive, and so with that you get a transfer case, able to shift into 4-wheel drive with the turn of that knob. It does have 4 low and 4 high available. See here we've got 3 cup holders. Got some USB outlets on either side. This has got the front bench row seat. I wish that the higher end versions of full-size pickups came more regularly with bench seats. It's nice having that added seating capacity, and you don't really lose much in terms of that center console. On other versions that have bucket seats, I feel like, yeah, they've got lots of additional compartments and everything, but there's still plenty of space inside of this center console for various items, and yet you still have a comfortable armrest and additional seating capacity with seating for 6. Jumping into the back seat, since this is the quad cab model, it's a little bit tight back there. You can easily fold up the seat here. Gives you the ability to get cargo inside quite easily. I'll jump in real quick to give you a demonstration on overall space. I've got the front seat positioned where I would want it for driving. I'm 5'10". You'll see that, you know, it is crowded, but I've got leg room. I'm not cramped inside of here. Again, headroom as well. It's not real comfortable feeling like you're right up against this front seat, but that's one of the trade-offs you get with a quad cab. Makes the vehicle a little bit less expensive and easier to maneuver around town in parking spots and everything. And so there are some advantages to that. Just kind of depends on what your needs are, but it is tolerable if needed. You'll see we've also got a couple cup holders down there below this rear seat. Give you a quick view of the front from back here. Gives you a different angle. There are 3 engine options available on the Ram 1500. There is a 3.7 liter V6 with 215 horsepower, an EPA rating of 14 in the city, 20 on the highway. This has the 4.7 liter V8 with 235 horsepower and an EPA rating of 14 in the city, 19 on the highway. And then there's also the 5.7 liter Hemi V8, which has 310 horsepower and an EPA rating of 14 in the city and 20 on the highway. In 4-wheel drive configuration, you can only get the 4.7 liter or the 5.7 liter, and you'll see a drop in the overall fuel economy of about 1 mile per gallon. So the Ram's got a really nice rumble to it. That 4.7 liter V8, even though it's not the 5.7 liter Hemi, it still offers a really nice level of horsepower. Definitely going to be more than adequate for most drivers. If you're going to be doing a lot of towing, or if you're a really aggressive driver, there may be some sense in getting that 5.7 liter V8, but in general the 4.7 is going to be more than adequate for most buyers. So rather than having leaf springs in the rear like most full-size pickups, the Ram 1500 has coilover springs, and with that it gives you a really nice smooth ride when the bed is empty. And so that's a really nice advantage of this truck, is that it offers really great car-like handling. driving the Ram, you wouldn't really even know that you're in a full-size pickup. It feels just as comfortable as your average SUV, with really smooth ride quality, nice responsive steering, good braking. Really, there's nothing to complain about. And beyond the powertrain itself, the vehicle has pretty good handling. The interior is nicely appointed. It's got a pretty good overall style to it, and plenty of features. Really is a pretty nice vehicle overall. On top of that, the cabin is very quiet, the seats are very comfortable, and it's just a really great truck overall. I think the fact that there is so much competition within this segment, it forces each of the automakers to really up their game and do the best that they can to make their vehicles competitive within the segment. And with that, you end up with a really nice selection of full-size pickups. The Ram sits as the third best-selling full-size pickup within the segment, behind the F-Series pickup and the Chevy Silverado. So that's a review of the 2011 Ram 1500 pickup. This really is a great option to consider if you're looking at a full size. Unfortunately, there is a lot of competition within this segment. It makes it a very difficult decision to choose between these different trucks. As I mentioned, I think the price point on the Ram makes it very competitive. And so if you're looking to get into a full size pickup and looking for the best bargain possible, I think the Ram is a really good place to start. If you have any comments or questions, leave those in the section below. For more car reviews, subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, thanks for watching.